Hello students, welcome to the 2020 through 2021 school year. My name is Mr. Mikasa, and depending on what classes you have for me, I am either your 6th grade social studies teacher, your 7th grade social studies teacher, or your 7th grade computers teacher. Now, the reason why we're doing this video real quick is first of all to welcome you to the brand new beginning of the new school year, and secondly to help you guys get adjusted to this whole remote learning model that we're adopting for the first portion of the year. Now, in case you're not aware what remote learning is, pretty much remote learning is where you basically stay at home and you basically access your materials via online. So you'll use your computers to access all your classes, all of your courses, all of your assignments, and we're going to do it through a learning management software called Schoology. Now, unfortunately, right now we have the COVID-19 pandemic, and we're taking these kind of steps and these precautions to make sure that your guys are safe and that your families are safe as well. So this is going to be a little bit of a different transition for you guys, especially if you're in 6th grade, moving on, especially since you're in 6th grade, since you're moving from elementary school to middle school. And I do apologize for that, but we're going to try to make this as seamless and as smooth a transition as possible. And so that's what the purpose of this video is today. Now, if you'll notice, you're looking at a screenshot of my laptop. This is the actual desktop of my laptop. That's why it's got this huge blue cyclone wallpaper that I have up here. And pretty much this video is designed to pretty much show you exactly what my expectations are for the most part, as well as what you can expect from my class every day whenever you guys log on to Schoology to interact with my classes. And so that's what the purpose of this video is going to be about. So first of all, we welcome you to the new school year, and secondly, I'm going to show you an example using a course that I made up to show you exactly what you can expect from my class, how you can interact with the software, and how you can make it easier to transition to remote learning for the 2020-21 school year. So that's what we'll be doing today as well. So with that being said, the first thing we're going to do, of course, is move on to teach you guys how to get into Schoology and how to access your course. Alright, so the very first thing we're going to show you guys how to do is, of course, how to navigate Schoology real quick. So like I said before, this is a screen recording on my laptop. So I'm just going to go down here to my web browser because I've already logged into Schoology. Now, you and your parents have already attended a training of some sort or watched a video how to access it, so this part should be relatively easy. So the moment that you guys come into Schoology, the first thing you'll notice when you get logged in is that you'll have a huge tile here of the various courses that you have been enrolled in. Alright, so depending on what class you're reporting for or what classroom or teacher you're going to, you just click on the various classes to do that. So as you can see, I actually have quite a bit here because I have a course for each one of my different classes that I teach. But for this example, I'm going to use this one, which is called my Sandbox. And this is actually a little fake account that I set up so that way you guys can see exactly what it would look like for you as a student when you guys log in. So this is an example of what your guys' course would look like. You'll have a whole series of different things you could do over here on the left-hand side, features that you could use. But probably the most important portions you're going to look at is right here, right in the middle. This part here that we're looking at, this part is basically called the Updates panel. What ends up happening is whenever I upload new materials, new information, new instructions, new assignments, it's always going to show up in your update panels here. Alright? For any of you guys who use social media, especially if you guys use Facebook, one of the things that's nice about Schoology is that if you look at it, the interface or the way that you interact with the program is very, very similar to Facebook. So if you use Facebook, this could be relatively easy for you guys to figure out. If you're brand new to social media, if you've never used social media before, don't worry because I'm going to show you exactly what to expect. So this is probably going to be the most important part for you as a student to look at, will be this update panel. As you can see in this update panel, I've actually have several materials already posted up here. And the reason why I've done that is because this is pretty much what your day-to-day will look like for me using remote learning, regardless of what class that we have. The first thing you'll notice here is what's called the warm-up, okay? So every single day that you guys come into my class, I am going to update, the very first thing I'm going to update is the warm-up. Every single day we will have a prompt that you guys are going to read as well respond and answer to. Now, why do we do this? Two reasons why we do this. The first one we do this for so that way we can start getting your guys' learning, so that way you guys can review things that you learned from yesterday, or to get your brains warmed up for the lessons that we're going to have for the day. The second reason why, which is probably the most important reason why, is because this is how we'll be taking attendance during the time period of remote learning. Alright, so when you guys click on this and respond with it, you have 24 hours to answer the prompt and to move on to your rest of your lessons. That way I can see that you've actually attended the class, you've done it, and I mark you present for the attendance on this one. If you don't do the warm-up, I'm going to assume that you're not actually logging in like you're supposed to, and I'm just going to assume that you're being absent for the day, and that will of course account against your attendance. So please keep that in mind when these warm-ups come up. They're very, very important. I upload them every single day, and you'll be able to do the prompts that way. So I'm just going to click on this one real quick so that way you guys can see it. As you can see, it says warm up, and it tells you what the date I assigned this on. Obviously, there is no 45th day in August, and it's not the year 2189. But I just did this as a kind of like an example, so that way you can see how it works. So if you click on it real quick, it's going to give you a little prompt. It's going to say, for example, this one, the question is Pepsi or Coca-Cola? Which of these soft drinks is far superior? So that'll be like the prompt, for example, that you have to answer for the day. In most cases, it'll be about review information from the previous day's lesson. And of course, right below in bullet points, will tell you exactly what I want you to do for that prompt. In this case, it says, please answer the question in 8-sentence paragraph. Type your response in the discussion below. So you can see here, I have my little board here right below. Of course, you'll add your comments. So in this case, I would just start typing up some stuff. I think that Mountain Dew is the best soft drink. And of course, I'll then proceed, of course, to do my 8-sentence paragraph. This is what I would do real quick. And once, of course, you've done double checking it and making adjustments accordingly, just hit post. As you see below, your response is down below. On my end, what will end up happening is that when I look at my question, I will see every single student's responses right below as if it was a comment on a Facebook post. And that way I can see that you guys responded with it. I'll mark you off for the day's attendance, and then you guys are ready to move on as always, okay? So that's pretty much how it works for the most part. So that is the warm-up. The next thing you'll notice as well is that I have a folder down here that says Unit 1. We have various units within every single throughout the courses of the year, so regardless of how long this remote learning goes to, I'm going to organize all of my classes by units, and the units or folders will be very important because when you're inside the current unit, all the materials for that unit will be inside of that folder. So things like assignments, instructions, due dates, schedules, all that important information will be held within the unit folder. So if you notice right here next to the unit folder, we have this little icon here. That's called a caret in terms of technology class. Okay, so when you click on that, it's going to drop down to show you exactly what's inside of that Unit 1 folder. So as you can see here, my warm-ups, for example, I'll post up my warm-ups every single day up here in the updates, so that way it automatically shows it the next day, so that way you can access it. But let's say, for example, it's the next day, and that previous day's warm-up is done. I'll then drop it down here in the Unit 1 folder, so that way you can access it later if you need to. Also, if you notice, I also have a couple more folders within this Unit 1 folder. I have my Unit 1 assignments folder, so when you click on that, all the assignments we're going to do for that unit will be located inside of that folder. And I also have what's called the Unit 1 links folder. So in case I want you to watch a video, or if I want you to access something on a different website, I'll put those links down below in here. So for example, on my this video that we're doing for Schoology, this will actually be inside of my Unit 1 links folder, because it'll be used to my YouTube channel that I created for this remote learning. So this is pretty much how it kind of lays out for my class. All right, so this is exactly what the layout looks like and what you guys can expect from me. Alright, so now that you guys have learned pretty much how to do the basics of navigation throughout a course that I have for distance learning, the next thing we're going to talk about, of course, are the actual assignments inside of it, as well as the links for the most part. So first of all, let's go and talk about assignments real quick. So as you can see here, this would be an example of what my assignments would be about. So if I tell you to work on your Unit 1 soft drinks essay, as you can see, here's the assignment. If I was to click on that, let's go bring up this new window. It will say then, of course, tell you what the due date is for this assignment, which will be of July 24th, 2021. So there's another example of assignment I made. And it says locate and download the Unit 1 soft drinks essay PDF. Read the instructions and write your essay using Google Docs. The instruction will tell you the requirements for the assignment. Turn in your paper by clicking the submit assignment, then attach the file from your Google Drive. So that's exactly what the assignment will look like. Now, if you have any questions about this assignment, please feel free to type down below. Right here in the bottom here, you have a little comment. It's going to be attached to you. It's going to be like whatever question I have for assignment. For example, if I'm like assuming like, let's say for example, I want to say when is the due date? All right, in that case. So let's say, for example, that was my question. As you can see, it shows up here, and I can either take a look at it, and then, of course, I can answer you and respond to you as appropriate. Of course, the due date will be always here in the top. It tells you exactly what day of the week, what day, month, and year, and what time the assignment will be due. So in that case, you can look at that as well. So what we do then, of course, is look for like the instructions told us. We look for the PDF. So we look for our Unit 1 soft drinks essay. So here's the PDF for that. And when you click on it, it's automatically going to bring up the assignment in PDF. It looks kind of like this. Just give it a second for it to load. So the reason why I put all my assignments on PDF, which stands for portable document format, is so that way it can't be edited, it can't be messed with, and regardless of what operating system you use, whether it's a Macintosh or a PC, PDF is a universal format type that can be opened by all mediums, including cell phones. So even like iOS, operating system on your Apple phone, or Android for your Android devices, you can still download this document, take a look at it, and you can still interact with it. So that's one of the reasons why I use PDFs a lot. So as you can see in this one, it gives you instructions. Your instruction says for you to create a 21-paragraph essay answering the following question: Pepsi or Coca-Cola, which is far better and why? It gives you instructions here, as you can see. It tells you what the format's going to be. So these would be the instructions for each of your guys' assignments. So that's why you'll know what to do, and this is what the instructions will look like. Now, regardless of what class you have from me, this is pretty much how I run all my assignments. And probably the most important part that you want to take a look at, we'll go zoom out here a little bit so you can see the entire thing. Probably the most important thing you want to look at is the rubric. On every single assignment that I have for my classes, regardless of which class you will have a rubric like this. And this will tell you exactly what is required of you to get a good grade on the assignment, what I'm looking for each of the different grades. That way you know exactly how you scored it, what I'm required for you, how much the score is worth. Alright, the worst thing in the world for a student is to work on an assignment and not know what their teacher wants from them for the assignment. Well, this rubric pretty much solves that problem. So for example, you can see I got the 5 to 0 category for the F that tells you what you need to do to get that score. Hopefully none of you want to go that far. But like for example, if you want to get a 90 to 100%, this is what you would require. And I, of course, tell you exactly what I want to have in this assignment. So for example, it says you, the student, demonstrates detailed knowledge, understanding of content and concepts through detailed and accurate descriptions, explanations, and examples. So that's one thing I'll look for in this assignment. Another one says communicates information, ideas in a style that is completely clear, which means, of course, there's no writing or grammatical errors. So I'll look for that for another one. It says completely structured information, ideas, and is according to test directions, which means you follow the format. So you see there, it shows you exactly what is required from you guys for each of your assignments. Now, if you'll notice down below, I do have this 11 plus sign. Okay, what this is this is your guys' extra credit opportunity. Almost every assignment that I'm going to give you guys will have the opportunity for extra credit, one additional point of extra credit in this case. What it requires you to do is to go beyond or achieves the requirements above, so which means that you've gotten 100%, so that's one. And secondly, that you exceed the requirements of the assignment instructions with additional information. So for example, in this fake example of having you do like a 21-paragraph essay, if you were to give me 22 paragraphs, for example, that would be an example of extra credit, okay? And that's pretty much how the assignments work for the most part. And so that's what you can expect from my class in terms of assignments and things. Sometimes, of course, I will have your instructions require you to go to different links. So for example, if we were to do that Coca-Cola essay and I want you to do MLA formatting, you just click on the hyperlink here. As you can see, it takes you to, in this case, it brings it up actually inside of the actual page, and it shows you exactly what you can do in order to do that. So say that this is from Purdue University. This is their online writing lab. And then this one, of course, they tell you guys exactly how to do MLA formatting. And you can use those resources to help you out. So that's one of those nice things as well. In most cases, of course, like for example, if you want to do lessons for me, I'm going to do a lot of videos in this case. So for example, this is actually from the YouTube. This is from the Joy of Painting with Bob Ross. He's going to teach you how to do a painting. But for example, if I want to do this, of course, I could put up my lessons on YouTube. You can access those, and of course, you can use them for your videos. Watch videos and do lessons. And that's pretty much the idea behind that. Now, the very last thing, of course, is that we're going to talk about is how can you contact me during remote learning. So you see at the bottom of the page here. Now, to let you guys know, I will be physically inside the Skyview Middle School building during remote learning from Monday to Thursday from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. during school hours. And so during that time period when I'm not giving lessons onto your guys' Schoology, what I'll be doing is I'll be responding to your guys' responses, their discussion points, I'll be grading your work. I will also be creating additional future lessons during that time for remote learning. So if you have any questions whatsoever about anything, please do not hesitate to contact me. You can either contact me with the discussions, which are located onto the assignments, or the preferred way that I would recommend it is that you actually contact me through email. So here's my email address down below. It's pmikasa@district70.org. Very, very simple. Shoot me an email. Tell me who you are, what your concerns are, and then I will, of course, address it as quickly as possible. And that'll be probably the best way in order to contact me. So if your parents have a question, this will be the best way to do so. If you have a question personally, do so that way. That way I can respond to it and I can help you out as well. All right, you guys? So I do realize that this is a huge stretch and a huge change in pace to what you guys are used to for education because we're adopting this remote learning system. But don't worry, you guys. It's a learning process for everybody. It's a learning process for you. It's a learning process for your parents, also for your teachers as well. And because of that, I'm going to be extremely flexible during this period of time because of that, to reflect that. So do not hesitate to interact. We'll be doing a lot of dialogue, interacting with each other over the course of the year and over the course of remote learning to help each other out. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me through email or through the discussions on the assignments for the various courses, and I'll, of course, will get back to you as quickly as I can to help you guys out with that, all right? I'm super excited to be teaching you guys for this 2020-2021 school year. It's an honor to meet you guys, and I can't wait to do some good work with you guys. You guys take it easy. We'll catch you guys on the next one.